Hello everybody, welcome back. We are at the manor today, and as you can see, the manor is slowly but surely coming together. Our chimneys are looking better. We have the rooms, the gable in the roof, and there's 4 of these, so 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. And today we are going, I was thinking of doing the garden because of the garden update, but I think I would like to do the kitchen today. I've been very excited about doing the kitchen, and because of the update we have a chandelier in the dining room now. What do you think? It's huge and I really like it, and I think it looks awesome. So we've changed out the candle chandelier and put in the new one. I've also changed out and put in these wall lights, which I think look pretty good and blend really nicely in the room. There's a couple of odds and ends that I have added, as you can see, and a few pictures here, and of course we've set the dining room table. So I think it looks pretty dang good. And now that the table is set and the dining room is done, we're going to the kitchen. I also have, why is that open? For some reason these doors keep on opening. I don't know if there's a glass blocking somewhere. We'll figure that out. So let's go downstairs and have a look. If you can see on the recording, this is the cream of the entrance, and this is the color that I've chosen for the kitchen walls. It is not yellow, but it definitely has a hint of yellow in it, and I've been playing around with various odds and sods and how we're going to build our stove and all the rest. I wanted a farmhouse sink or a butler sink, and this seems to sort of do the trick. As I say, I've been playing with bits, and I don't think that looks too bad. But as you can see, there's lots of things, and I thought I've put in 2 columns here simply because the roof needs to be supported. This is the basement after all, and I have closed off the back of the kitchen. I mean, this kitchen is huge. Even just this section here, if we use it as the kitchen, is more than big enough. If you look at the size of the appliances and everything, I mean, that is the double door fridge. So I've closed this back section, well, not closed it, but walled off a section of it, and I've created 3 rooms. We have this section, which we can probably use as a little study area with bookshelves and a desk and stuff like that. Then we have 1 room, which I'm changing, don't sell it, the door, I think I prefer it that way. And then we've got the door in the middle. So 1 room will be a utility room. We can put the ladder and the boiler and all the rest in there. I mean, big house, 2 boilers, why not? Then this side will be the laundry, and then in the middle, just for the heck of it, we have a little bathroom. And yes, I was playing with stuff in here, and as you can see, I was trying with what we had to make it into a slightly older looking wash basin, which actually I think it looks pretty good. Let me know what you think. And I just don't like these white frames. Let's change these white frames. Let's maybe take them to a tan. I think that looks a little bit better. It doesn't quite line up with the sink, as you can see, and these have been shoved together. You can actually see that they're not just placed, they literally shoved together. So you've got the line in the middle. Again, doesn't quite line up, but I think it works in here. And I have put a little bit of wallpaper on. I do want to take the wallpaper down to, I want it to be yellow rather than tan, because these are the colors that I'm probably going to be using in the kitchen, with that just hint of a yellow on the wall. And then we will decide what, yes, that just sort of, if you open the door here and look at the color of the wall out there, I think that works a bit better. And then of course these are also new lights. We've got a elderly toilet there, and oh, nothing is on. All right, did I not connect you? There you go. I think that's plenty bright. Can I please turn you off? Thank you. All right, so that is the bathroom. This is the kitchen, and I want to use that again. So if let's take this color. We obviously will also use I made the mistake of pulling these walls up too high, and we had a little problem with the floor downstairs. Still won't quite, but that looks quite good. I don't know if I want to use something like that. I think that could work. Oh, and another thing I've learned, do you see this? This is the quarter round for here. So if we go to the quarter round, or the molding for the floor, let's take this one, because this is the one that I have been using. And I place it on the wall. Okay, and then I just use the scroll on the mouse. Do you see that? Instead of doing whatever, it flips it upside down now. So I find that quite interesting. So for example, I've got this. Let's extend this over here, and then we actually can put another one in there. You see, that's upside down. We want it to flip. You see that? That is what we're aiming for. So let's take that off and just slide that up into the roof. And see if it lines up on the side here. The only problem with something this size is it tends to get a little clunky to play with, but that works. And then we can take this one oh, silly me, hold on. Take this one and flip it around, which is fascinating. And then you've got much more interesting moldings. Don't know about this now. I think that is going to have to go. Still not quite lined up, but that's okay. And I find that quite fascinating. Now, I don't think we need this column anymore, because we have the wall there now. It's just a little bit neater, and we can just fill this gap in. And then here we can have a little relaxing area. If you've done all your work, you can come and sit here. I'm not sure about this. I was just sort of putting basic molding on the walls. But now, I was thinking of these cabinets. They actually look pretty good. And I was playing with different colors. Now, if I go for a straight blue, it's not super intense, but it's fun. And then if we go with just the painted wood on top, maybe a slightly darker blue. I think that'll look quite pretty. So we do have windows in here, but we only have one window in the kitchen, which is perfect because we can then run a corner cabinet. Cabinets, standing corner. And I am using these ones. And we can probably do this. Let's see. That actually wouldn't look too bad at all. So, where am I? And in this cabinet, the sink is a pain because it only has, the big sink only has that tap, which I think is a little modern. So in that one, again, so I decided, you know what, this tap is quite cute. I'm going to use it, and you get the same size cupboard and you get the cute little tap. So I think that works quite well. I do obviously need to figure out if I can find a little cabinet that will fit in there, or if we're going to have to move that now that I've set it all up. maybe this one. Ooh, no, we're going to have to move it slightly. Okay. Moving. As you can see, actually, you know what? I'm just going to pick it up. I can't. Damn it. Let's stick that on the wall. Okay. And then change that handle. There we go. I don't know if I like these handles on these cupboards. Maybe we should go for the knobs. I can't even see what I'm doing now. It is that one. And then just use these handles on the drawers. I think that works. And then I've used this piece to sort of try and make a sort of a farmhouse type sink. Obviously it will impact on the next cupboard next to it, and we're not going to be able to open. Okay, let's do that. Put that there, and then we can line this up. If I take the knobs off this, let's see, handles, I might be able to move, yes, there we go. And that looks pretty dang good. Now I was looking at this stove, but I'd rather go for the double oven because I think that will work better. Now I also am thinking of putting most of the working surface of the kitchen on one side, and we're going to have a nice big block in the middle, and then I think probably mostly storage on this side. So that is my plan. I would like to use this as an example for the side of the butcher's block, but we'll get to that. Let's just carry on with this bit. Now, I suppose I should have some that's pretty dang good. Okay. Yes, that'll work. We will figure out tiles and stuff like that at a later stage. I think maybe something like that. Will that fit? Yes, it fits beautifully. Let's move that on that side. I think that's pretty good. This is plants coming through. It's not a train smash. We can live with that. And this, then we are just going to have to see. This does line up pretty well. This is the staircase, the back of the staircase. And then we just have to put our that could do with a slight adjustment. Ha! And it disappeared. And that's perfect. I like that. Okay, so let me know what you think of the colors. I was thinking of blue and yellow because it makes sense. Now, when I have looked at references of the kitchen, we have had a couple of places where the stove is in a sort of placed within an archway, but I don't think I want to do that. I would prefer to actually have it in a different shape. So let's just, I think I'm going to take that. Yes, those drawers will look good. And then I can, maybe that one. On that side. Now we just have to decide where we want the stove. I think it would look pretty good. And yes, I'm doing a double sink, double stove, double oven. Now I've got something here that I quite enjoy. I've got my references on my other screen. Now obviously we don't have the very fancy coal stove, but we also have a fairly big stove now. So my thought process is, let's see what we can do with this. Would this be crazy? Yes, it probably would. Yeah, it's just going to give me let's see. I just like the fact that this has got the decoration that I want on it. So it's just me being, shall we say, a little lazy. Will it allow me to resize it? Yes, it will. Maybe not that high. Let's come down a bit. Let's just stick these up there for now. Oh, this won't let me move it. And then it involves multiple triangles. Oh boy, oh boy. No, we don't want that. We do want our triangle do it that way. And then we'll move you. Okay, that isn't going to work. How far out? Okay. Let's bring you out there. Makes more sense in my head. Nope. I want one of these. Seriously? Come on. Will you just flip for me? Damn it. Fine, don't. I'll make you. Okay, do you sort of vaguely see where I'm going? It's a job and a half, but it might work. Now if I do, okay, what I was thinking, all right, where's this stuff here? Let's see how big these are. Maybe these will work better. I hate these triangles. Okay, let's just place the triangle here for now. I wish these were bigger, or we could resize them. We can't resize it, can we? No, we can't. Which one do you prefer? This one's simpler. Let's just take the fuzzies off it. And then it's easier to look at. You know what this means? I'm probably going to have to use blocks instead of actual building material, because I wanted to put this around it. Oh, hold on, there's this one. Did I forget this one? That one's bigger. Hold on. Yeah, that's better. Okay. It's still going to have to be slightly modified, but that's okay. It looks a little bit better. Okay. Sorry, distracted. What was I doing? Oh yes, molding. Okay, so this is called a corbel. How many of these do we have? Only the 3. Okay. Where was I? I was distracted. I was looking for something that so if we use that, I'm clicking, I'm getting excited, so now I'm like, nope, take it off the grid snapping. Okay, that's going to actually work out okay. And so if I use that one there, say this one here, that actually works quite well. All we have to do now is take this block out here. I think, and find us, do we want the chipboard? Should we do the chipboard? I think the grain is running the right way. You know what, let's not be crazy about this. Let's start with it flat, because otherwise we're just going to be all over the place. Then we can tip it. And then let's see what we've got here. If we place, okay, that's just going to be unhappy with me, but that's okay, I can live with unhappy. Has anybody planned on doing the competition build for the April Fun Day type event that they've got going? Because I've got an idea and I've started sort of setting it up and I'm having fun with it, but it gives me a headache just thinking about it. Because it's I don't know if they'll like it though, because it's in shades of black, white and white, black, white and grey that actually mess with your head a little bit, which, I mean, I'm okay with that. What do you think of something like that? as the hood for over the stove. That makes sense. I think it does. I want to keep the molding in here. Ah, can you hear me? I'm reverting back to my South African roots. I want to keep the molding in here white because I think it looks pretty damn good with the very light yellow and the blue cabinets. That's quite cute. Let me know what you think, because obviously up top here we would be sticking stuff like, for example, bowls and stuff. I know it will just collect dust like crazy, but that's what I got in my reference. Where are all these fancy bowls that I can't find now? We had some. Let's use that one as a for instance, shall we? Ugh, I hate that they've changed this. Okay, so that's a for instance. I'm going to have to find a whole bunch. But yeah, maybe something like this. Do we have anything with flowers on it? No, we don't. Shall we find something with flowers on it? Dang, that is ugly. It's a little tiny, isn't it? I will get around to that at some stage. But that is my thought for the back here. And I would like to put... Why am I doing that? I would like to have pattern tiles at the back there. Perhaps something like this. We can keep that as the base. This is the grout, if I'm not mistaken, so let's keep it slightly darker color. Something like that. It is not accepting. We'll just do that and take it away if we need to. Behind the stove. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing on the other backsplashes. I will probably do something fun. But as the sort of area by the stove, I think that would look good. And then obviously we need cupboards. And whoops, I need to fill that in. That's fine, we'll get there. Now, if I'm using that on the stove, maybe we need to use that same sort of feel on the cupboards. I wouldn't mind this. Let's just buy one and see where we get with it. If I pull this across, I'm not saying I will, but it's a thought. Okay, and then we can do that. And then we can run the same oh, come on, don't give me a hard time. Along there, maybe? But that doesn't really give us much space there. Does that mean I'm going to have to take this up a little bit? Probably. It's fine. We've got a corner. Come on. Will you please? Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to have to take that up. Dang it. Alright, I shall remove this. That is actually better. Because that will literally fit right above the stove, which is awesome. And then I'll move this up one. It's going to be a job and a half, but I'm not going to do it now. I will do that once we've done the rest of it. Let's pop this on here. Maybe. Let me know what you think about that. Is that over the top? Because of the height of the ceilings in here, it does sort of give the cupboards more than enough space here, but it then also, I don't know, I quite like that. And then we can maybe do something like this over. It's not going to stand on the countertop, is it? Just for the sake of doing something slightly different. So that comes right to the edge. And it goes right to the back there. So it could be fun, just something different. Let me know what you think about that. Now, of course, we're going to do the fancy bit in the middle here. Now, once again, got an image here that I really like for a butcher block or a central island counter. And yes, you can probably hear me scrolling like crazy. So what they've got is they've got something like this at the end. But it also consists of a lovely big work surface that you can do a huge amount. So let's get down to the bottom here and look at these chunky cabinets. Let's see. That has drawers, maybe. It's just a straight open. Would we want these sort of cabinets? Not really. Maybe something like that. Let's go for this. We can start with this and then work our way and replace as we feel fit. I like for this particular place, I really like these drawers. Now we've got more than enough space from here to say here. So if we line that up, to there. Let's just take the, take the precision placement off and just got something that looks I prefer these cabinets here. Okay, that makes a nice size. I don't like that that pops in. Okay, so this we need to pop out slightly. And yes, we can put a huge countertop on this once we're done. And we will probably use the windowsill. And we will, what did we use? The painted wood. I think so. What I like about this, so thank you for reminding me, Stephen, is the thickness of it. Because it definitely has a little bit of weight. Okay. And it will basically can cover this entire area. And it's one block. So much better. Does that make sense? And it's a huge butcher's block or central island. Mostly on this side though. So we could probably extend this. If if we so wished. What do you think about the size of that? It literally almost is perfectly in the center. Don't know if that's a good thing or not, because you would have to walk around it, but then on this side you've got the triangle of the sink, the fridge and the stove, and we could probably have another fridge here and then just shelves right along there. But now this little thing, I am wanting to do something like this. And what would be interesting to see is how many of these fit in here. That's not too bad considering we are just shoving them in. Okay, now let's see if I can copy that onto there. Yes, I can. Okay, that. Yeah. Drops down slightly if you see that, but actually would probably make a lot of sense if we just add a few elements. Okay, now we want wood, do we want painted wood? And we want that color? No. Yes. Awesome. We also want a shelf, and then we want some more of these little boys, because my thought process here is these are pretty much the same size as these legs, maybe. All we're going to do is take the shape off that leg. So we have an interesting little unit at the end here. I would prefer to have 2 drawers perhaps, but I think this is the best that we're going to get. And for the top, probably our little friendly shelf here. And oops, I'm trying to back away and it's not allowing me to. Now the grain runs that way, so we can either line it up to the grain, or we can allow the grain. Okay, let's take off our precise placement again. Why am I doing that? All right, let's move. Nope, we want that. And we will need to change the color as well, because that ain't that color. It's too shiny. Yep, that works. I think we need to resize it one little bit more. You see, you get the little bumps. It's fine. No, this one. Oops. I think that'll work. Obviously, we just need to get the alignment perfect. It's never going to be exactly perfect, but it's not bad. And then of course on this side we can actually put lots of storage. What do you think of the floor? Are you liking this as the floor downstairs? Or would you prefer to see something a little bit, got some stone or something? Let me know about that as well. And this fireplace is just not going to cut it. These little things are the pits. Now we do have a few new stones. We've got the flint stone, the grey sandstone and the beige sandstone. None of them I like on this little fireplace down here. Maybe we should just go with the regular sandstone and go with maybe a blue. Something different, because that's quite cute. And it ties in with this in here. And I think that's a huge island for this kitchen. But for a working kitchen, I think it's pretty dang good. And then I'll finagle the legs on later. I'll put some storage there and you can let me know what you think. Now for this, I'm tempted to take this and perhaps go with the white. It just to me feels, let's do that. What do you think? This almost looks grubby, whereas that actually looks pretty darn good. So let me know what you think about that. And then once that's done, we'll come in here and find a nice comfy little sofa. Maybe put the rocking chair over here. In fact, let's find a comfy sofa now. We do have this new sofa, which is lovely, but I don't think it's quite what, well, maybe, you know. This is for outside. It's a wicker, but that actually might be quite fun. Let's see if we go. Right, wicker. I'll keep that. That actually looks pretty good. And we can maybe go with a something like that. Maybe here by the fire. I think that's a little too dark, but it's a thought. And then of course we need to do the utility rooms and a little office here. And I have no idea. Let me know what we can do on this side. Lots of storage in this place. And of course we have an attic as well. I haven't put stairs up into the attic yet. I have just thrown fireplaces in here and put one wall up so that I've got an idea of where we're going. This is the front windows, so I'm thinking we need to put perhaps the staircase to the attic somewhere here in the central area. And then it's still very basic, whoopsie. And as you can see, there's stuff that needs to be fixed in here. But we still have a full attic. And I'm thinking of probably doing another 1 or 2 bedrooms up there. So this is going to be a huge house. And it deserves to be a huge house because it's very pretty. And I also can't wait to do the garden, because that is going to be interesting. We're going to have lots of hedges, lots of sort of wildflowers, and we need to complete the wall. The wall is a little, well, this part is a little fiddly, but it's okay. We can deal with that. So going back to the beginning where we started this whole video, please give me your feedback on what do you think of the kitchen, what I should do to make it better, what I can add to it, what I can put in the other rooms, because again we're going to have quite a number of bedrooms here. We will have at least 2 or 3 more bathrooms and lots of people can come and live here. I'm also thinking of building 2 more outbuildings, sort of a gatehouse and a garage, perhaps on the back side of the house. So there's that. So guys, I'm going to leave it here. Please let me know what you think. And if you've got this far, please subscribe. I hope you have a lovely day. And I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.